Good morning. I'm here to advise you that the defendant, Chacon, was arrested on Wednesday for the aggravated battery of a PST bus driver. Shortly on Tuesday around 5 p.m., the defendant, Chacon, got onto the trolley bus, which was parked at 2nd and Bayshore. Chacon went to the back of the trolley and sat there while the driver was on his break. He was sitting in the trolley for a few moments. Then on the video, you can see Chacon move up to the seat right as you enter the trolley. When the driver got off his break, he got onto the trolley. As he stepped onto the trolley, unprovoked, Chacon got up and started punching the driver right there in the doorway as he entered the trolley. After he brutally attacked the driver, Chacon got off the trolley and just walked away. Thanks to the technology that's on PSTA, we were able to capture the incident, and we were able to get a photograph of Chacon. PSTA did an excellent job. They put out a bolo, be on the lookout for Chacon, and on Wednesday, one of the drivers in Largo noticed that Chacon was on his bus, contacted Largo Police Department. Largo Police Department came out and they arrested the defendant there in Largo, where Chacon was then brought back here to St. Petersburg Police Department. Again, I want to reiterate that Chacon said nothing to the driver said nothing to Chacon. He just started attacking the driver as he got on to the trolley. If you were to go and look at Chacon's criminal history, it's about 30 pages. In this 30-page report, I can tell you it ranges from aggravated assault, aggravated battery, aggravated battery on a pregnant female, carrying a firearm with where the serial numbers were altered. So this gentleman needs to be, I shouldn't say gentleman, Mr. Chacon should be off the street. And thanks to PSTA, Largo Police Department, and the great work by our detective, he is now off the street. He should not be on the streets. And I have Ms. Weaver here with PSTA if you want to ask her any question. Ms. Weaver?
All right. First of all, I just want to give out a statement on behalf of PSTA. I would like to thank Chief Holloway and the St. Petersburg Police Department, as well as the Largo Police Department, for their due diligence in making this arrest. I'd also like to give a big kudos and a thanks to PSTA Operations and the Safety and Security and Training Team for not only being the first to respond to this incident, but also the supervisor being there as well. An update on our driver: the bus operator is at home and on the mend and improving every single day. Our thoughts and our prayers are with him and his family as he continues to get better. At PSTA, safety is a very top priority for us, and we take it very, very seriously. We were one of the first transit agencies to install safety barriers in all of our buses to protect our operators. We do not condone any violence against our operators, and they should be treated with respect as with any frontline workers. Lastly, I would just like to say, if you ride PSTA or if you see an operator in the community, please thank them, as they are the ones that keep Pinellas County moving forward. And I'll take any questions. Or we'll take any questions.
Chief, do we know if this guy had any it doesn't sound like he had any motive or anything. Do we know of anything? This is a robbery, or was this just an unprovoked attack?
This was an unprovoked attack. Just like I said, when we looked at the video, the defendant gets onto the trolley, sits in the back of the trolley, and he's just sitting there while the driver's on his break, and then he's looking around, the defendant, then he moves toward the front of the trolley, and he just sits there and he waits for the driver. And I mean, as soon as the driver steps onto the trolley, Chacon then just attacks him and just starts punching him over and over again until he's down on the ground.
We heard it was a pretty brutal attack. He was unconscious at the time. Are you able to talk a little bit about that?
It was a very brutal attack. He was unconscious. He was transported to the hospital.
Do we know if drugs or alcohol had anything to do with the attack?
Not at this time, no.
My question for you, Stephanie, with this attack right now, are you guys looking at any changes to how the drivers take breaks or any type of safety measures that could come from this?
Well, our safety, security, and training team does a lot to prepare these operators for real-life situations. They take up to 8 weeks and even more. Our safety and security team does a wonderful job training them. We'll definitely look at what we can do to improve because, again, safety is our top priority for our drivers. So, yes.
And this may be for either of you, how important was that, the security cameras, the video that you're able to get and making this arrest as quickly as you were able to?
And thank you for asking that question. Very important. The technology that they have on their buses was outstanding because you can see the defendant sitting there. You can see him. It recorded the whole thing. We were able to take that picture and then, like I said, put out a bolo on the subject so everyone could see what the defendant looked like. And again, their driver was the one that spotted him again on one of their buses. So here he is. He attacked someone on Tuesday, and he's right back on the bus again on Wednesday. I don't know what his intent was, but he's right back on the same bus. What were they going to do? And if that wasn't in place, who knows if we would have caught this guy as quickly as we did.
Did the second driver who recognized him, did they say, what was going through their head? Like, were they scared whenever they recognized the guy's bus and had to call the police?
We didn't interview the driver of the second incident. Like I said, once he saw what happened, he got on the phone right away and contacted PSTA. They contacted Largo PD, and they responded, and they took the subject into custody.
Question about the timing, I believe, maybe I misheard, 5 p.m. you said on the 19th?
It was 5 p.m. on Tuesday the 19th, and then the following day he was arrested.
But the information we have, and then a screenshot of the blue screen the drivers see, it says 8:52, a notice went out, and that's in the morning. They used 24 hours, so maybe to misrank. Is that the information you have, that it occurred at 5 p.m. on the 19th?
Yes, that is the information that I have.
Okay, maybe I can ask you. Then a question about the bolo. That was not sent out to the public, from my understanding. You had a person, so did any law enforcement agency have the pictures? And if so, why did they not go out and enlist the help of the public, given that you had a allegedly violent criminal on the streets?
That was done the following day, that Tuesday morning, when we got all information together. We put all our detectives' hands on deck to try to locate this subject. And then as we were getting more information, we were going to put more information out to the public. But at that time, we were able to arrest the subject before we put information out to the public.
This reminds me a lot of that incident that happened in Tampa where the bus driver died. Is PSTA doing anything to prevent violent transactions like this on bus drivers?
Again, we were one of the first transit agencies to install these safety barriers, which are on all of our buses to help protect our drivers. But again, in our training, which takes up to 8 weeks even more, our drivers are taught to stay vigilant, keep their heads on a swivel, and that will continue going forward.
On that topic of that, we've seen this unfortunately happen before. How fortunate is it for this driver that he wasn't more seriously hurt or worse?
Absolutely. We are very thankful for the due diligence of the St. Petersburg Police Department, as well as, maybe some eyewitnesses as well who saw the incident as well. So we're very thankful that they are okay and on the mend.
What is the policy as far as like when someone does take their break, are customers allowed to get on the bus while they wait for him to come off to go anywhere?
The bus doors were open because it is hot outside. So yes, they can cool themselves off, and the bus driver was just, like Chief said, taking a break. So, yep.
In terms of those, in terms of those safety barriers that you're mentioning, can you give me a little more specifics on what they actually are, how they work?
Yeah, absolutely. They are like plexiglass. It's almost like they're in the operators are in like a cockpit that it locks, and only the driver can open the door that they can get into. So it's very safe for them. So, yeah. Any other questions?
How would you explain just how dangerous that job really can be? I think it's a job that you don't even realize, like, they're just driving around. But
Absolutely. These are frontline workers, and a lot of people didn't realize that until the pandemic. So, of course, we installed the safety barriers at first to be a safety deterrent from the heart incident over in Hillsborough. But now, with the pandemic, it served as a dual purpose for COVID, that sort of thing. But these frontline workers, they're our heroes, and they should be treated as such. So, yeah.
Any additional measures that you all are
I mean, like I said, our safety and security and training team does an awesome job training our drivers to stay vigilant and keep your head on a swivel, because that's all you can do, too.
Will driver safety, I was trying to look at the agenda for next Wednesday's board meeting, will driver safety be added as an item? I know many of the drivers are quite concerned.
Of course. I mean, we'll take a look at it and discuss internally, and we can discuss that with our board as well.
Or will it be an agenda item?
At this time, possibly.
And Chief, this question is for you. Knowing that this has happened, is there something that law enforcement can do, perhaps, you know, working with PSTA to have these brake stops closer to, you know, where law enforcement will be? Is there some way that there can be a stronger presence moving forward with what just happened?
Well, remember, we have to protect everybody in this city, all the visitors and people that work here. So we'll continue to work with PSTA. We have a great working relationship with them right now. And they also will continue to monitor everything in the city. If there's something else that we can do to add on to make it safer, then we will do that. But at this time, again, everything was in place. Again, they have a great team. We work well together. Unfortunate this incident happened, but again, we'll learn from this and see what we can do to make it better or make it safer.
Can you guys speak to, and this is for either of you, any situations where what is in place worked to your advantage and a possible situation was thwarted? Do you have any knowledge of a situation like that happening before?
To my knowledge, no. Like I said, the technology that they, and Ms. Weaver can speak to that, but the technology that I've seen that they have inside these buses were, you know, a best. Because again, without that technology, we would be here again trying to figure out who committed this crime and what we can do to make sure we get this person in custody. We get it within 24 hours by having not only the bus drivers out there looking for them, the officers out there looking for them. At a certain period of time, we would have shared that information with the whole community. But those two people working together, we were able to put the defendant in jail right away.
When you talk about technology, I feel like nowadays it's like you can run, but you can't hide. There are cameras everywhere. There are people's eyes everywhere, whether you release that information to the drivers to see the camera footage or whether you release it to the public. What's your message to anyone who either has done something like this or would ever do something like this that you guys will take action?
Well, we tell it, and thank you for that question. We tell, excuse me, we tell the people all the time. There is technology that we're out there using all the time. Any cameras we can find in the city, whether it's at your residential or business, our detectives are going to go knock on our doors and ask people if we can look at those cameras. PSTA, again, like I said, their technology, they got cameras not only inside the bus, they got cameras on the outside of the bus. So they can see people coming and going. So if you're going to commit a crime nowadays, there's technology that you're going to be on someone's camera at some period in time, and it's just only a matter of time before these detectives do a great job, or the news media, and they help us find those cameras so we can bring these people to justice.
If I may have missed it earlier, are you familiar with this suspect?
I am not familiar with the suspect. What I said earlier is his criminal history is about 30 pages, and it ranked from aggravated assault to aggravated battery, resisting arrest, you name it, so to speak. There was a felony. This guy committed it.
And how frustrating is that? You know, I mean, these are people out there trying to make a living, and somehow or another, I know you've expressed before the revolving, you know, door of justice and the criminal justice system. You may with 30 pages, I'm worried about sitting in jail the rest of my life if I shoplift a pen for that.
Well, you're absolutely correct, and like Ms. Weaver was saying, here's one of their drivers that's doing his job, making sure people are being able to traverse the city, gets onto the bus, and somebody attacks him for no reason. This guy's history, again, the system, I don't know why the system doesn't have him where he should be in jail. Maybe he's already served time for what he's already done wrong, but we still need to make sure that he doesn't do this again.
Would you like them to revisit the policy of having the bus open during the course of breaks and stuff like that, where people unseen can get on?
That's going to be a question for PSTA.
Or would you like to see that, because you guys are the ones that have to enforce, right? I mean, deal with situations like that.
I think, again, I can't speak for PSTA, but for us, again, with the technology that they have, it helped us solve this case. How they want to treat their customers, I think, like we were saying, it's hot. They don't want the person just sitting out there in the sun, so they let that person onto the trolley. I don't see an issue with that. Again, that'll be up to their policy.
This is definitely an opportunity for us to review everything like that with doors open. But yeah, we'll take a look at everything and see what we can do to improve and improve safety for our operators.
Are they air conditioned?
Yes, yeah, the buses are air conditioned, yep.
Yeah, so that was one of the things, it's like, okay, well, we left the door open because it's hot out, but it's air conditioned on the bus, right?
Yep.
So, I didn't know, I wasn't exactly sure why the doors needed to be open.
Just to let customers who were waiting for the driver to get off his break, to get on the bus and cool down.
The word technology has been mentioned several times as a tool to catch criminals. What is PSTA doing to use technology to prevent crimes, given that this is at least the third assault on drivers since 2016, and there was a murder of a driver over in Hillsborough?
We have the technology installed on every camera, on every bus, so we are doing what we can to prevent.
So you're doing what you can, so you think nothing more can be done to use technology to prevent these kinds of attacks? It is the third one.
What kind of technology are you talking about?
The technology you have.
I mean, we have cameras installed on
Right.
every single bus.
So so one thing you could do, for instance, is have the driver be able to see, just one thing off the top of my head, see who's on the bus, see how they're behaving, see where they're sitting before that driver gets on the bus. That would be just one thing I can think of. But I think you answered my question. You feel you're already doing everything you can, right?
Yes, we are.
Chief,
And let me just follow up to that when you're asking that question. Once the trial is over and we release the video, you can't see anything. I mean, the guy just sitting there. When a driver walks onto the bus, you wouldn't expect that from someone out of nowhere just to attack you. So if you're talking about technology, the technology helped us catch the person. The technology before then, all you would have seen is a guy sitting on a bus.
just on the topic of the technology, you mentioned it several times as far as how good it was. I realize it's part of the evidence, but are you able to release any piece of that video or some of it so we can just illustrate what we're looking at here?
Right after, again, right after we go to discovery and then we get with the state attorney's office, we'll release what we can to the press.
Chief, you mentioned the inspector. Did he express any, to your detectives, any motive here? Was it a robbery? Was it, or was it?
He didn't say anything to the detective. Again, in the video, once you see it, you'll just, like I said, you'll see the bus driver step onto the bus and you'll just see him attacking the bus driver. Nothing was said.
You
Okay.
don't want to release the still image that you put out for the bolo?
We will be able to get the BOLO information and out to you probably by the end of today so you can see that.
What about a mugshot, Chief?
Yeah, again, we'll see if we can get that out to you. Right. Thank you very much.